Hey guys, Booga here, and welcome back to the Dignitas channel. Today I'm going to be revealing how Peterbot and Pollo won the FNCS Global Championship and going to show all the secrets that allowed them to take home the trophy. Before we get into this video, we at Dignitas are looking for the next big pro Fortnite player. We are giving away a PC and hosting daily tournaments for our community, and all you have to do to play is comment why you deserve to join Dignitas and join the link in the description. Now, let's get into the video. Okay, so starting off the video, here we have Peter and Pollo landing at the raft. Okay, so let's see how this actually plays out. Actually, Peter surprises me here and decides to land on this right side chest. Now, the last time I watched Peter and Pollo play at this drop spot, I thought they were taking pretty much this entire side and then this. But now it seems that when they're triple contested, or I guess double conned, so you know, themselves and then two other teams, they're trying to take this loot right here, get some of this, get the coin, and then maybe they'll try to get that over there. We'll see. But regardless, they end up going in this direction anyways. Yeah, so this is interesting. So we have Trashy and Threats landing in the middle. We have Swizzy and Yapko landing in this corner over here. And honestly, I think Swizzy and Yapko get the least amount of loot here. I think Peter literally cuts off a lot of these teams' loot path by landing right here, which was very good by him. And yeah, so pretty much Trashy and Swizzy and Yapko are almost gonna like have to fight here because there's just not enough loot to make this possible. And as you can see already, I mean, going to Threats and Trashy, they just have better loot already than these two do. So nonetheless, I don't even think they fight each other. I think they just play this out. They kind of, it's first game. Everyone's a little bit nervous. They're all running back and forth, not really sure what to do. They're just trying to get a feel for the game and not really throw everything away yet. Usually first game is good to set an example of what you want to do for the rest of the tourney. It's good to kind of put a fear factor into players in the first game of a tourney, which is probably why Peter decided to 50-50 this. I mean, he was so confident in his drops and his ability to, so he just did. Unless they, had this figured out beforehand and Peter was already getting this loot. I'm not sure. No clue, honestly, but yeah. So we're just going to speed it up a little. So Peter Pollo, they come down here. They take out the boss immediately because they know nobody's contesting them. Nobody's doing anything on their side. They're going to kill the boss. They're going to get their ammo, and overall, they're just going to get really good loot. Pollo's going to get hit hard there, whatever. Now we're going into the next stage of the game. So this is early game. So, it's still technically early game in this stage of the game. It's very, very early. Zone hasn't even started closing and they left the POI. But yeah, they're deciding to run over here, look for Surge on Pars and Baka, which isn't bad because they know, they come down here to loot some of that. Pollo actually decides to instantly pad and go over here to get some more loot. They have decent mats, and I'm pretty sure his philosophy with this, or like his idea, was that they don't really need metal. They could farm their metal up here at the forecast tower, and Bunker actually spawns this game as well. They didn't even decide to build boxes on it. They kind of just let it be. Curious why that is, or if they just conditioned literally everybody. But yeah, so they pretty much have the forecast tower. This team doesn't decide to go for it. They just sit on top of the hill. Team decides to low pad down to the house. I really have no clue. Yeah, so Peter and Pollo, I mean, they're just playing their mid game. They're gonna sit up on these hills. They're gonna look around for Surge. And this is kind of what you're gonna see from Peter and Pollo from the rest of these games as well. They kind of just sit up here, farm everyone around them for Surge, get forecast tower, then go bunker, which I mean is a pretty foolproof plan. Like, I feel like nothing can go wrong there. Like, that's just a perfect game plan. As long as nobody's contesting these objectives from them. Peter's just gonna obviously get the majority of Surge because he's gonna end up on the hill with the mythic AUG. I mean, this gun is really good. As you see, they're not going early into zone. They're kind of staying on the back end, running around, trying to farm Surge on some of these players, which is, honestly fine because they get to run in here and take this hill. Very good because they can see right side and left side over the map. And look at all these players down here. They're all just running into it like a funnel. So Peter Pollo get to just sit up here and just shoot along and get some free tags on people while they all fight. And honestly curious also though why these teams aren't fizz padding, why they're just running through the middle. I don't really understand that, but whatever. They're just able to play this way, I would say, because they have just conditioned the lobby in scrims and whatnot. They just have a fear factor, So many teams are scared of them. They also have a mythic AUG and a scan coin, and this coin allows them to pretty much see anybody within a certain radius. So many people are just scared of that. They're not going to try to, contest or fight Peter when he's doing things like that. So yeah, so pretty much what they're doing, they're just running around. Honestly, they're just getting really good early Surge because all these teams are so scared of them, which is very good. I mean, that fear factor is everything in Fortnite, especially when it comes to off spawn. And then, it even falls a little bit into mid game and then sometimes end game with conditioning teams. Say if you were to go for height or whatnot. Yeah, so they pretty much play their mid game. They rotate over to here. It's middle map pad. I mean, their game plan so far literally looks perfect. I don't see any flaws in it. They're pretty much white lining at the expense of not white lining, if you know what I mean. Like, they're just running straight without surge bases holding them, which is honestly a blessing. Right here, Fat Fizz, hit the pad. So this is actually a crucial part of the game. This is where they are going to go for island. Spawns at 50 seconds perfectly. So you saw right there, they hit the pad at about, a minute or a minute and 2 seconds or something. They pretty much get perfect glide paths over to the island. Now, normally they would have just tried landing on the island there, but because they were getting shot at, they decided to dive down and probably are gonna go to a zip line. But this is a major part of their game plan. They love going for island. They go for island so much because of, not only the extra shield that you get from the top, but also there's max brick refarm. Also, your positioning on the map, being so high up around everybody. And then, it just surge. You can pretty much see anyone from here. As you see, it's game one. They just went for island and nobody has contested it. The only team that decided to go up here was Trashy and Threats. And Trashy and Threats' idea here is not even to get the island. They know this is Peter. So what they're doing is they're pretty much just trailing Peter, it seems, and just, are going to farm the extra brick and stuff and just look for surge. Yeah, they pretty much come up here. They have the entire island almost to themselves. 200 above. He's going to block his sides. Look for some tags here and there. Pretty much a perfect game plan. They just kind of do the same thing. They're looking around for kids in zone. They have the scan coin too, so they can also see people sometimes. And with this scan coin, people are very scared to even do anything. Everyone's scared to even make plays on them. But here in a second, you guys are going to see why the island is also so good and so important. You see right here, they literally are just on top. They just got a free kill, max surge, and now he's going to hit the pad. Their only whites here are splashes. Sometimes people decide to, splash once or twice, tank zone, and then pad, depending on the zone and how far it is. And then they'll try to glide into the next zone once it pops. But right here, Peter and Pollo, they just decide to glide in, just take a decent position off the pad. They're not going to go too deep. They're going to stay on edge so they can still look for surge because they know it was kind of fake. And also forgot to mention, they have the zone reveal, which I forgot about completely. So they're able to hit the pad there and they know that it's going to be a pullback. So they can literally just stay here. And yeah, I mean, they literally knew where this zone was playing. So, I mean, this is just one of the things with Fortnite. Like, these objectives being introduced to the game are just so important. If you're a team and you're getting every objective and you're getting a medallion and a mythic weapon, it's almost impossible to do bad. That's literally the best case scenario. You have the best loot in the world. You have a fear factor upon yourself also. There's just so much going on with that. They're just going to sit up here, look for surge for the rest of the game. They're in a very good position. They can see all sides of the map, all angles. They already knew zone pulled there once they initially saw it. They see where half is too. We can't see this obviously in replays. They have zone reveals and forecasts, so they do know. They're going to run jump. They're going to get in here. They're trying to force almost to the half zone because they know the rotate next zone is going to be a lot harder if they don't do it now, which is just because people pile up, is on edge with you, and then it's worse. But this team tries fighting them for surge. I mean, it just doesn't work though. I actually think this team gets taken out. Yeah, they're 81 below, so they literally just need to jump in here. I don't know what happens. Okay, so they actually do get a nice shot on Peter, or actually Pollo they hit. So they're 7 above. They still need tags. I'm curious if they go back to box fight. Actually, Chico did damage too. So Peter's gonna rotate his half zone here. He knew that half's pulled far, so he tried putting himself in a position where they could go kind of early and getting to it. But there's a lot going on here. A lot of people are just crashing out near them. Pollo's actually gonna lead this rotate. I don't know if he saw something or yeah, I'm not sure. Actually, this guy gets cracked under him. They have scan coin, they have everything, so they know these teams are weak. Pollo has 6 builds. They need something. They're gonna go for a fight here. Not gonna get anything actually. Honestly, I'm curious, where does it... Okay, they probably kill this guy. I mean, Peter is just running low on mats. He's getting fought every second. Just a solo on their wall. He's getting pumped in zone. He gets the kill. He gets What is going on? They get full box, server lag pops up. Pollo's dead. Can you get the res on Pollo even? Wow, they have Pollo's body. Wait. Oh, so Peter had a good solo clutch here. All right, well, I mean, right there, really what happened in this game. So they went island. They had decent mats leaving island. They padded, they landed. Everything was well. Next zone, though, pulled kind of far for them. So they tried forcing the half early. They tried getting there, but it was too late. They started getting box fought for surge. They took a lot of HP. They also burnt some mats, which obviously wasn't the best in that situation. And then their half rotate, pulled max again, which wasn't favorable and kind of screwed them over. But, as you can see, pretty much much every team in this lobby, besides a few, are gonna have like no materials in this situation. You know, this zone is just so bad. If you look down here at the bottom, you see this little hammer and wrench. You're only gonna see a few teams that really do have insane materials. I mean, some teams have obviously average materials because, you know, when you kill a team that has good mats, it's gonna get spread around type of thing. When zones are so bad like this, people usually have no mats. You kind of just have to accept it and you need to get refreshes. But yeah, so Peter here, I guess he gets a crazy solo clutch. I mean, he has literally 25 builds, first moving. It's a terrible zone. He has scan coin though. He has the mythic og, and you know, we've seen Peter do some crazy stuff, so do what he decides to do. He holds someone on back zone. He doesn't need surge, so the damage doesn't even matter there. He's playing for stats. He can see clicks under him here. He's just gonna take him out. He's gonna wipe him. There was still literally wood, brick, metal that he didn't even get there. I mean, I guess he didn't need. Yeah, he's gonna run it down. Okay, he's gonna hold someone on backside zone. He's gonna get a kill. He's not gonna be able to get any of the mats. He cones his top. He drops down. He doesn't drop all the way. He actually staggers. I'm curious as to why he does this. Maybe because he thought he would have got fried, or maybe he's trying to find a refresh. Honestly, me, I would have dropped all the way down. So I'm curious why he did that, but that was pretty smart. He's gonna stay elevated too. See, he knows there's solos in zone. He can see people here. That's the thing. He sees things that we don't see. So this is kind of hard to like explain or show. Wow, okay. 1 HP. Trying to get in zone here. Still has minis. He has everything to pop. Can he hit the mantle? He gets up. And he actually gets a knock on Sphinx there at the end. So honestly, an 8 kill 7th is not bad at all in a land format. Now the reason he was able to get 7th there, I mean, he literally had 30 builds. He played his fizz correctly. He tapped fizz, jumped, made a box. Nobody fought him whenever he was making these boxes. He also got like 2 refreshes there, which is pretty good. It all kept him alive. That scan coin really comes in clutch there. You know, Chapantini up here, I'm pretty sure they won game 1. But yeah, I mean, that was a good game. Anything within top 10 on LAN, I would say is good. When you're in like an online FNCS, I kind of look at top 5s as what's good. And on LAN, I mean, if you're getting top 10s, I think that's solid. Top 10s every game, that's all you can really ask for. But that's a solid game nonetheless. They get some really good points. Their game plan was structured, and you guys kind of had a little bit of an idea as to what they're doing. Right, so going into game 2, a lot of teams and a lot of these people kind of now know what, you know, the others are doing. Peter's actually going to get his side uncontested. He's going to get some early damage there. And yeah, so pretty much their early game is just going to be the exact same thing. You know, these teams around them are just going to literally sit in the BOI, farm all the mats, go outside, farm brick here and there, and then just run around. I mean, there's not really anything to learn from this. Like, they're not getting fought. I mean, right here, Baka and Pars are coming into the POI. They just know they're trading with Peter, and Peter has a mythic og, so he's just winning the trades every single time. They're not even hitting him. Peter's gonna get fried from Pars there. Yeah, so now they're in a weird spot, but it doesn't matter. They're just gonna hit the fizz pad probably and just go to the bunker or go to forecast. And actually, if you saw last game, they didn't even get bunker, you know, which is interesting. I thought they would have went for bunker there, but yeah, they didn't. So, I mean, Peter really is getting a lot of their surge, and they have so much extra shield to the point where they can trade so much as well. They're getting a bunker. They're killing the forecast boss that gives him 2 bigs every single time. They can take so many risks being in the open and just shooting people. So right here, a team actually tries to claim their bunker. Peter is just crying though, and he's absolutely just head dinking every single player we look at, building off all his angles. You know what, honestly, this is very informative to myself as well, because I've never really watched Peter's gameplay in a replay perspective, because he's kind of just cracked out player, and I feel like it's hard to learn usually from these players because they're just so individually gifted that like you can't really copy what they're doing unless you try to play the perfect way they're playing. So they get bunker, they have extra shield, they put attachments on their guns, and they have good early surge because people come around this area. So they are now chilling. They pretty much sit around in their bushes. They go to pads so that they can get deeper in zones easier without taking damage. They pull zone. I mean, they also have forecast, so they just actually, I don't even think they got forecast. Am I tripping? So I mean, if you see the way they're playing, they're really just riding the edges of zones, you know, which honestly I think is pretty good. Riding the edge of zones always works well, especially with the way Fortnite is now. Like, riding the edge of zone is good because you can get pullbacks like this. You can become very close to it, but you can't ever actually pull the zone. So I honestly like playing edge. I like just the idea of getting into zone and that's it. Like, it doesn't really matter your positioning per se, because you can kind of work around wherever you're at. And also when you go center, really only have one option, and that's usually to just go straight straight. Because when you're in the center of the map, it's kind of hard to go left or right because there's people that are there. But if you're on edge, sometimes you control the edge of the zone and you can, you know, choose to go left, right, middle. You can kind of do anything. So I don't know. I really like edges of zones. I'm kind of noticing that they do a similar game plan as well. So they pretty much sat edge of zone and then they just wrap dead side here, which worked pretty well. So this is a grim zone too. So they're literally just going to run around and dash through everything. They're never going to have max metal. They could get max, but they just don't see it as something that's worth because the rest of the lobby isn't playing with max metal either. Honestly, not a bad game plan from them. Them leaving their positions early and running around to get early surge is pretty good, I'd say. And yeah, so we're going to see here what happens. Peter's going to lead this. He's just going to use dashes and they're going to get in on edge. They have armored walls here, so them getting lobbied really does nothing, even though they're sitting on edge. What they do need is surge though. They're either going to need to box fight or just spray teams, get lucky tags. They're dropping coin. They see this team go. See if they get any damage here. Nothing on the Acorn and Cold. And there that goes. All right, so they're decent on Surge now. They're chilling. See how they play this half rotate. They're obviously going to use the Grim Water. They're going to get their 3 dashes each. And it looks like they're going to wait till last second to go. Wait till last. They're going to shoot some people and then they're going to dash on right side. They're going to get dashes again and then instantly go. You know, that was good from Peter, but he actually ends up getting fried. Maybe stopping once could have been more beneficial there, but I don't know. I mean, that's just kind of the way of the game. Like, you're going to get tagged going for some of these rotates. Okay, so they're gonna play edge here and they're just gonna get in the zone. They're gonna use their armoreds and, you know, honestly, they're in a good spot. Poyo still has really good mats as well. You scan coin, being lobbied there, they're gonna chill. And yeah, these rotates are kind of just becoming a mess. You know, honestly, the way I like to look at Peterbot and Poyo's game plan is it's go for island when you can, get bunker, get forecast, and then their end game is really just crazy, right? Like I feel like they don't necessarily have a game plan all the time. They kind of just do whatever. They run around, and honestly, Peter usually plays solos and has just Poyo follow him, which is like what it looks like here, because this really isn't even like a team tarp or anything. Kind of just running around crashing out. But, you know, honestly, right here, they're in a fine position. They can't see where zone goes, so that screws them. They get fought on backside with Acorn. Yeah, they don't have dashes. They only have fizz here. They're gonna try going out to the left side. They're gonna fizz jump. They're gonna ramp this team off, and they're just gonna insta jump in, and it's all bad. So let's see if Peter can pick up anything here. He gets actually 2 kills, and he gets some of the loot. Oh, he gets the kill, but he gets jumped in on. So yeah, that end game was really just like it just felt just forced almost. I mean, that end game was just very fast. Like their first moving, I feel like they had a lot of just different options or things that they could have done. But I feel like they kind of just crashed out here and just went really fast. Game 3 of the FNCS Global Championship, and this is kind of where things start turning around. Peterbot and Poyo, they finished this game with a 12 elimination second. Very crazy, especially on the man level. So we're gonna see off the bat, Peter is doing his, you know, normal off spawn route. He's landing on this building, grabbing a gun, getting some early surge. Yeah, that seems to be working for him so far. Is good. They haven't been contested yet either. Definitely to note. All right, so as you see, Peter's not even 200 HP yet. He literally just gets a few guns and they instantly run over and just kill this bot. I mean, that's impressive. They killed that bot literally in half a second. I don't think I've killed that bot that quick yet. I guess that purple AUG with a scope does wonders, yeah. Wow. All right, so starting things off hot. I mean, Peter, just 200 zeros trashy. That's going to be literally the majority of their surge for the entire game. Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous, honestly. That mythic AUG just combined with him over peaking, that was just not good on there. Yeah, that's going to help Peter Poyo so much this game. They're going to have a lot of early surge. They're going to have also an elim point. They also now are comfortable knowing there's nobody in the POI that's going to try to lurk on them or do anything because they killed one. Honestly curious as to what trashy or threats ends up doing this game. Probably just runs around, tries looking for surge, and maybe gets the reboot off back there. Quizzy and Yapko, they're going to be running over to here to get the Volt. The Underworld teams are pushing up into Underworld. Pretty much every game they have a routine where they loot their POI, they come out of it, and they shoot Parzambak up on this hill for surge. Depending on how it goes, they fizz pad all the way over to the bunker or the forecast, depending on what spawns. And by this time, they already know if forecast spawns, because you can pretty much see forecast across the map. You know, right here, you don't see a forecast tower, meaning it didn't spawn. If you're looking around the map here, you see this tower thing. You can even do this at a wider level. If you're gliding in, you can see across the entire map. So see this one all the way over here. You can see that forecast as well. Pretty good strategy. All right, so we're just gonna 4x this for a little. Peter and Poyo, they probably just run around, do their normal routine. They have good early surge, so they don't need to force many fights or lose as much field. No forecast. And we're gonna see if there is a bunker either. Okay, so bunker did spawn. Now some of you may be wondering, how do you know if bunker spawned or how it didn't? This little red light here tells you if it spawned. If there's a red light on the bunker, that means it spawned, and if there isn't, then it didn't. Also, if there's builds around the bunker, so things like this, which is why Peter and Pollo actually destroyed everything. I think they destroyed it from metal in this situation, but sometimes people will destroy the whole bunker and try to bait it, and like, yeah. See what Peter and Pollo decide to do. They run up to the hill, which you're gonna see them do this almost every game. Now, I think this game, Clicks and Vito might have died to the CMOS. The amount of objectives they're able to go for, the metal in different parts of the map, meaning they don't need to sit in their POI and full farm the metal. Like, there's just so many good things about this early game plan. Also their fear factor that just allow them to do these types of things. Like, look at this too. Bunker's just giving them so much metal as well. They pull this next zone. Keep in mind, guys, they don't have forecasts as well. Now, Peter and Pollo on the 4th zone pop, sometimes they like instantly going for this island. We're gonna see what they decide to do. They're a little bit of ways away right now. I'd question if they're actually gonna go for it or not, which it looks like they will. Okay, no, they're not. So they're just gonna box on the rift since the team already has it claimed. Usually if Peter and Pollo there were closer to the island, I think they would have went up, but there's no point in going up when you're gonna rift up and there's teams that are already doing this on the island. And a lot of other teams, they'll just rift up here and land, and they'll just sit on these outskirts and just farm all the brick, which is a good strategy because you get max brick. You can also get, you know, an upgrade bench and a few chests. Peter picks up a free AR kill. And pretty much right here, we're deciding to tank. And we don't expect anyone to be looking at us because we really didn't know if anyone was here. I mean, we should have scouted before. I did not expect that, but I just get fried so bad there. And now I'm just forced to land so early off of my rift. And this game would have went entirely different if we just burned 4 to 3 builds. And in this situation, we would have ended up gliding over to this mountain. At the end of that, for this game, the zone pulls far, and now we're just screwed, you know? We're gonna watch Peter Pollo. They're gonna rift after us, actually. Maybe I could have even, I mean, I think I did it at good timing, but yeah, this would have been us. So we pretty much would have just done this game. So perfect strategy, great way to utilize the Rift Island rift and get into the next zone. That was very good. And from here, I mean, they're pretty much just gonna sit here, look back, and hold the entire lobby, so, and block their back. Let's see what they actually decide to do instead. Okay. That works very well. Using 2 dashes here to get into zone is very good. Honestly, maybe could have gotten away with using 1, but I think they wanted to get on the deeper side of zones. They have surge to be a little safer. All fine. Right, so going on to first moving, zone's going to appear. Let's see what they do. Here's gonna instantly dash up this mountain since he sees nobody is up here. He's gonna use this final dash for it though. Hold Queasy and Thomas on the back end, and I think they're gonna play height this game. This looks like a game, I mean, they should play height. I'm very curious as to how they could grief Thomas and Queasy here. I mean, they just hold them on the back end. But yeah, I mean, this almost should have been just a free win. I really don't think anyone can test height in a game like this, especially a dead game at that. Med kits, team's front side, but no worries, they're just gonna jump up on this hill. And another thing here, guys, is like, everybody knows players on height here are Peter and Pollo, because, you know, obviously the skin coin, so definitely see just no team. There's literally only 6 teams remaining in this game. Zone, I guess, just killed everyone out because it pulled so far. Did they look for them? They see them coming out of zone. Be 1 knock. I mean, Pollo gets that other one as well. Doesn't actually. You're gonna end up getting I mean, it's pretty much just a massacre at this point. They're just gonna kill all the players with no materials. Actually, how did they not win this game? Oh, this is actually the Swizzy 1v2. Okay. All right, so we're actually going to analyze how they lose this one. Very interesting. So Peter Pollo, 15 builds, 12 builds, playing height. We have armored. Pollo messes up an armored, puts it on a wall. Who knows? That last armor could have saved them here. See? Maybe there could have been a better time for them to place the armored. I think they could recognize them not getting looked up at or shot and, you know, seeing the teams fighting and maybe not drop down or not place armored so early. I mean, this pretty much looks like a free win. They're just sitting above them. Peter gets hit hard early by dropping all the way down. He's seen the 2 teams fighting, which is good. When both the last duos are fighting, it's good to drop and try to get some sort of angle. Definitely not onto their walls, but maybe from above. But I mean, this still looks like a very winnable game. Pollo's gonna drop, hit Yapko 100. They see Swizzy on the backside in zone. We're gonna watch what Swizzy does. Swizzy has mats here, obviously, so he's gonna ramp up. He's gonna isolate him, not take the 50-50, and he's going to drop back down. I'm curious where this goes wrong. So he sprays through. Yapko probably hits him hard. Okay, Yapko hits him hard, and they get the trade. The Pollo has 2 builds here, which they should be using together. Now they have 0 builds. Pop your 3 splashes probably. You see Swizzy building right here. You just know, we should try to heal for the last second that we can, maximize our HP. Pop the splashes. We're running on their builds though. It's good in this situation for both players to kind of be on each other though. I guess Peter was taking a more protected angle here. Pollo is kind of running like at him on a right hand, giving him a free shot as well. Obviously Swizzy has materials here, so like it just makes this a whole lot harder. 5 builds, and I mean Peter's actually gonna hit him to 15 HP. I mean, this is crazy. I honestly don't know how they lost this. And Peter right there, instead of just shooting his gun, he tried tack sprinting. Could have just been nerves playing into it, but yeah, I never watched that back, but that was actually pretty crazy. I don't know. I honestly, Swizzy had builds, which makes it really hard in a situation like that. They try to apply more pressure rather than allow Swizzy to kind of edit and do his own things. Maybe try to spray in the roof together, pickaxe in, or just apply more pressure. Because when you're just sitting there both holding a gun out, it allows the other player to make plays and just do things. Now, this is a game that doesn't go as planned for Peter and Pollo, so we're going to see kind of where it goes wrong and what happens. Looks like Pollo goes down early in this game, so let's just see. They're off spawn as usual, looks good. They're uncontested on their side. Yeah, they're getting their loot. Trashy dies again this game, honestly, trying to get early surge on Peter. Peter's gonna go try to kill the boss early, which works every single time. They just insta-fight it. Splashes, max gold. Okay, so the scan's gonna go off. They're gonna see where these players are actually going. And grab the bigs, and where do they get a kill here? I guess onto threats or onto Trashy? I mean, this would have to literally be a quad dink, though. Okay, so Trashy's already 130. He's not looking at him, and wow. That's just crazy. They're just gonna insta-fizz pad over to them. They're probably just going to kill Threats second after, no? Interesting. They know Threats is a solo here. They don't decide to key him, but instead, that actually makes sense. They have good early surge, and now they want to play for the objective. Right, they're going to ignore bunker. They're going to run to Fizz ring. Fizz pad, sorry. You're going to see Apco ramp up, try to get tags, pop a big. They're not going to look for more surge. They're just going to instantly pad. They're going to dive down on edge, though, grab some dashes. Dash through a little. And this is because they have forecast now. They know zone probably is pulling full top. So I'm curious to see the padding they take. So I'm assuming they're going to attempt to play for an island this game as well. Since they're kind of situated, they have everything going. They're going to ramp up and sitting near their normal island spawn. So yeah, so island's going to spawn. They're going to instantly go over. They're going to be, I think, contested by Vino this game. Maybe not. Pollo knows going second here could screw him. And boom, he gets up. Okay, everything's good. We have island. We're 5-5-2. Peter's 5-5-5. We get the island, maybe even uncontested here. I don't even know if a team's gonna come up. Team probably will come up for the brick though, but at this point they know Peter has it. They see the coin. They see the visuals of them getting scanned, and yeah, now they're gonna get max loot. They're gonna throw some attachments on their guns. They're gonna sit on this hill, and I mean, they're just 700 above here. There really is not much they need to do. The Rifter, do they 50-50? How does he die? We just get landed on right here, huh? Wow, wow, what a play. Wow, what a play from Acorn and Cold, actually. Wow. So we're one below here. We're hitting the rift late, and we just decide to just send island while this team's not even looking. So let's see. But yeah, I mean, that's got to be a vibe kill. 5-5-5. We see where next zone is and everything. We have God loot. We're just falling over like that. I mean, we probably even could have seen the visuals there, though, of the team gliding onto us. So maybe just build it off instantly as soon as you see them gliding onto you. Because you can tell when the team's landing on you and when they're, like, trying to pad away. And, like, you know if they're landing on you, they're going to try to fight. So trying to instantly hit that fizz pad from that angle is just not the play at all. Regardless, Peter's going to try to play it out here. Get some bad zone pulls. Whole lobby's looking at him. Just don't see how he can solo clutch this one. Wow. Solo just frying epic way. He's just putting on a masterclass for his Kinch stats. And he's just going to rotate in. Next zone probably pulls and he probably just dies. And that is the end of the story here. Yeah, so Peter's going to try to fight this. He's going to try to smack on clicks and beat him. Ball, ramp in, probably just get insta 200 first spot in zone. There's 6 builds, game over. Well, at least he gave his friend the good loot, right? He gave Kwani the Mythagog and the scan coin this game, which doesn't seem to help them too much because they end up dying a second later. See, so they do everything normally. They get no early kills. You look on the map, you see forecast spawns, so they're going to play for forecast, and then bunker spawns as well, so they're probably going to play for both. So I'm just going to skip through this because this is pretty obvious what they're going to do. They're just going to go on the hill, shoot people down. They have forecast at this point. This is where they are going to play for their bunker. Curious as to why they chose to not his pad. Actually, I do know why, because they like going up to this pad on the right. This is fine. This pad in the middle of the water. And yeah, no one's gonna be here. Peter and Pollo, or Peter screws up his pad bad. They should have just took more time there probably and made sure he was fizz. Because of that pad, they probably won't be able to get their island now. Unless they fully fight it. Yeah, okay, so no team even goes up. I mean, these teams go up and they just instantly die to Bryson bolts. Yeah, so now everyone up here, they just know it's Peter Pollo. They have a scan coin. And I mean, yeah, this is what playing PGs and being good at fighting in game does. It gives you a fear factor. And I mean, fear factor is just so important in this game. Like playing creative, playing zone wars, becoming one of the best fighters. Like it just helps so much. People are scared of you. People aren't scared of the best IGL. They're scared of the best player that can take you out of the game, not the best player who can rotate you around the map, you know? So just being one of the best fighters and players in the game just allows you to get away or do like so much other stuff. Making sure you have a fear factor is very important. Yeah, so they have zone reveal here. They know zone pool is probably back. And yeah, I can see why they won this game. I mean, their game plan, their structure looks perfect so far. They really haven't had to deal with anything in the early to mid game. I mean, this game plan and structure just looks so unbeatable. Like it genuinely looks like you're playing a different game almost. That's why just structure and having like a game plan is so important in Fortnite. Like if you go back and watch our games look nothing like this. Our game plan is just terrible. We have no actual structure to it. We're not doing similar rotates every game or working into different positions. Like it's just terrible, you know? So they're thinking win condition low ground this game. They drop all the way down. Still have pretty decent mats though. This is not terrible on a second to last zone. They're literally just gonna keep playing low ground and just getting the right timing and sprint jumping front. It's gonna work pretty much every time. Peter's actually gonna run on mats here. Pollo's gonna have one build. So seeing where they win this is interesting. Okay, they're gonna kill Wox. They're gonna get some siphon off of him. Okay, we have 10 builds and it is a 2v2 now. Pollo is a little bit weaker. Let's look at height. They're thinking if we just sit here, we're going to lose this game because we have 9 builds and 15 builds. So we can't really just gamble and sit on low ground, I don't think. I think Peter's going to make sure he's 200 HP. You know, this is the final fight of the lobby. They're literally making sure that they're both stacked here. Here, no ARs going off, so they're thinking about honestly PGing them. So crazy. We're going to watch Pollo's POV. I think he went crazy here, yeah. He side jumped 2-tax Bryce X. And Peter's gonna have 6 builds here. Curious to why he doesn't go for that body. Maybe they could have chopped in and got that. They probably tap fizz, drop low ground now. Drop low ground, separate the space, and now just take safe angles and probably win this. Bolts is gonna drop. He missed that shot on Pollo, which would have killed him. And Peter kills him. So right there, that was perfect game plan, perfect structure. All of their objectives spawn. It was just a well-played game. So I'm just gonna skip to where they actually end up getting a knock. They end up popping full heals. He's just gonna look over, he's just gonna knock charge. Boom, 1 point, or points for Peter right there. He just got a free kill. So we do have forecast this game. We know where the zones are pulling, and they're pretty much burning all their dashes to get over here to island. Pollo gets it to 1 HP. They have forecast too, so they know the zone's probably pulling up here. And forecast is so good too, by the way, because you can pretty much predict where the island's spawning, because island has to spawn within the next zone's radius, and they see where the next zone is, so they can kind of position themselves to be on like, or in the area where they think the island will spawn. Okay, so a team's actually gonna land up here, and they're just, I mean, embarrassing fight, like instantly just put down. They're just gonna instantly kill Ando X too. Those guys just play their whole game out to rift up on island and just get insta-killed. Yeah, we're gonna get a knock on Bryce X. End up getting lobbied. Okay, we're gonna burn our dashes. We know next zone pulls far. I mean, they've armored, so it's not even a risk, by the way. But if they have no armoreds in this situation, they're getting lobbied. I honestly think landing on back edge elevated, like height, is good, because then they can fizz jump off next and like probably get in easier. Obviously, going low ground is terrible for them in a situation like that. But if they have no armors there, they're getting lobbied 100%. So we are just going to dash straight through the middle, go straight to low ground, work up one layer. Yeah, everyone's going to be fighting on us. So we're going to full tarp to it. Get that. Wow, just max loot piles on low ground. Yeah. So he's going to go back. He's going to get some loot. He's going to full fizz here. See where next zone pulls, ramp up, and jump. Very risky play, but I mean, it works. If you're the first to do it, sometimes it's good too, because these teams aren't established or ready immediately. That's one thing I noticed. They're going to look back zone. They're going to kill Nathan. They have the coin too, so they can see this team. Cooper's just going to instantly fall over. Go out right. Some knocks onto these players. I was going to try to shoot them in the back zone, and now it is a 2v2v1. Tapping Fizz without actually making any play. Rise is going to drop down for Mats in the backside. I think they recognize that though. Peter's going to pop some heals. Poyo's going up early. This is hard to watch, so I'm just going to watch from this POV. Peter ends up taking a pump on Agers. Poyo is just pumping Rise in the back. Agers is 1 HP. I mean, this is just so funny to watch. Like, I don't even know how to explain this. Peter's literally taking a full-on 1v1 up here on height. Poyo was just taking his one. They're healing. I mean, they do have heals. They have double fizz. Like, right here, we just need to regroup and double fizz. Because at this point, we already lost, you know? Because Peter and Poyo are going to have heals. They're just going to drop low ground and chop us. I think this game literally goes heal off. No, this is the most stupid endgame 2v2 I've ever seen in my life. Poyo's just jumping off height. They're just pumping Rise. When Agers is on height, you should be shooting him already. I mean, Peter's 1. Rise is still decently healthy. Poyo's going to fall all the way to low ground. Peter's a solo. We see the footsteps. Okay, we get a knock. But I mean, now we're just whites. We let Peter take one out, and I mean, bro, I don't even know what I just watched. That was actually the dumbest endgame 2v2 of all time, but that is hilarious. So everything goes as planned. They get there early, everything really. So they're gonna run over here. They're gonna get some early tags into the POI. Definitely good. Okay, and we have a team to trade with us, which is good as well. We're also gonna have forecast and bunker once again. I mean, they're getting very lucky on these forecast and bunker plays, but as you see, when these teams are trading with them and there's teams around them, then this is just where they're good, you know? Like, everything goes as planned. They also get a close zone, so it's healthy. Like, instead of staying back late, what they decide to do, they decide to just instantly go, get ahead of people, and then hold people. Like, it's a good way of thinking. When you're like 100 above, you're able to just do this because, you know, you're not going to die to surge immediately, and it's a little better to do this as well because you can hold all the people now. So if you're not going to instantly die to surge, getting in before is a good play because then your rotate's just 1,000 times easier. So now they're a little ahead. They know people are looking at them. It's fine though. That's really just how this goes. Okay, we're gonna get a kill on Nathan. It pulls down. And yeah, we're at a good point now. Everyone in the lobby is probably just shambles. We just played our endgame good. We're staying on low ground and probably just end up 2v2ing height again. I mean, when it's so late into these games and nobody has mats, like, I feel like you're never gonna get it taken from you. Like, low ground is just not gonna get taken unless Poyo just dies. I mean, that's the way low ground can get ripped from you. But see Teeny here. Gonna end up taking him out. Grab all the mats. We actually missed brick there. It's fine. I honestly don't know how we win. We literally have 5 builds. Queasy falls in our box. We are gonna get everything. We missed brick. We just tack sprint front zone. There's a body on our wall. Insta get it, pick up the fizz. We hear teams fighting. All solos is the call. See a team above him. He's just the insta edit master right here. You know, he's keeping himself ahead. He's taking his time. He tries baiting him with a fizz. Admin Booga's gonna fight him. He's just gonna third party clean. He knows the kid's on his low ground layer. He goes up one. He has no mats either. I mean, this is looking like just a perfect, like, it's just a perfect sequence. Dukes is popping a met on height. I think he saw that. That's why he decided to go up one more there. He was going to go up regardless. Plays his angles good and instantly wins the game. You know what's actually funny? I don't know if this is replay bug or not. Is this a replay bug or is this a real train? Like, what if the train hit him upwards and he just one pump Peter off it? Considering that they could be contested. Yeah, so nothing happens early. So I'm going to skip ahead like 4 or 5 minutes. Let's see what objectives they end up playing for. We're gonna go over to our hill. We are gonna have forecast and we are gonna have bunkers. So that is a blessing right there. That is what's gonna solidify the tournament, getting that game 11 bunker. Right, so let's see how we decide to get our early surges game. We have Quicks and Veno hill. So instead of fizz padding off, we're gonna run in. I don't even think we're gonna play for bunker this game. They might if they get enough early surge. They're gonna split up. Pollo's gonna go on this left hill. Peter's gonna go on the other hill. Peter's actually gonna farm his metal here because he didn't get it anywhere else. So we see zone pull top left. They're gonna do this rotate. They have done in the past where it actually hasn't gone their way. So I'm curious to see how it goes now. See if anything changes. I mean, I guess they're thinking like if we don't get our surge now, we're getting it never. We are just full pressing this. Think about it. This is literally only for surge. They're actually going to get nothing off of that though. So they're going to lose a lot more than they, well, there you go. And then they give them the 100 tag as they run away. Even when you're in first place and like you're going into the last portion of the tourney, like you can't play nervous. You need to still fight and still be confident like the way you normally would. And like there's so many teams and players out there that just change the way they play when they go into the final games of a tournament. And it's honestly what kills them so much. But I mean, they pretty much just get the biggest re-up. Everything is good here. They're tanking a lot of zone, but they want a fizz pad next. And they're not even above surge. That is the craziest part of this. So let's see how they actually end up clutching their surge here, because this is the most important part of the game right here. This is where everything could go south or everything can go in their favor. So they're going to see this team from earlier. They're not even a box fight. Pollo's going to get tagged. They're 90 below. Swizzy and Vanya trading. 100 tag instantly. 30 white on Swizzy. That means they need it bad. If they're peeking when they're whites, they need surge so bad. Wow, Yapko gets a crazy shot. Pollo gets a shot back though. I mean, this is just intense, honestly. Worthy is just gonna glide in and he is just going to get a free kill just like that. Wow. They know this team's stacked too. They're coming out of zone with splashes, meaning they definitely have some loot to give. I think they wait this out because they don't want to get lobbied. As soon as the zone opens though, they drop back to it. He gave a little. I mean, the 2 splashes definitely gonna go a long way because of the whites. We're still not even that above though, only 140 above, 160, sorry. Fine, they're gonna work towards the next part of the zone. They're gonna look for surge back here as well. Tag, their wall, and they're just going to pretty much hold everyone, and they pull half here too, so good thing to notice as well. All right, so half, we're gonna go for a box right here. So pointless though. You know, so let's still analyze what they're doing. They have same materials, they still have shield, they still have, you know, ammo and guns. Everything seems to be okay so far. Very scary right there. Pollo instantly could have died. Now, Peter knows next zone plays far, so that's why they are pushing like this. Wow, and Quicks is just bloom fighting in zone. That is crazy. They kill 2 teams though. They can only assume they have Siphon. Not even gonna go for it. No teams are just gonna take it. And let's see how they do this rotate. I mean, Rise, you get sprayed in the back, and that is a, oh my. There's no way Peter just solo wins this game. I mean, this is just crazy. I mean, we just got to see how this happens. I mean, Pollo dies right there. He's going to get the body on Rise. He's going to get tagged in the back, so it's going to burn all of his final fizz. Burns a lot of mats here, ensuring that he doesn't die. It drops down, sees a body, doesn't even decide to go for it because it's in a terrible spot, and he knows he's probably just going to die going for it. This is just pure flow state right here, guys. This is just like this ultimate flow state. Ready? So we're gonna tap our fizz. This is our final capped out HP. We only have minis left. We're gonna jump, and right there, that jump could have just finished his game. If this height team is more established and playing a better angle, like they're playing an edge of zone rather than just going above the center. Could have saw Peter right there, and that could have been that. You know, like he pops all his heals, he's gonna pop his fizz, and he does that jump, the risky jump. He's gonna land on this guy, get his wall, 130 ramp flip, insta kills him. I mean, that's just insane. There's gonna be a fizz here. He's gonna get some decent loot off of that. Pulls down. Let's see what he does. He sits here for a second. He's gonna tap fizz. See how he decides to drop. Does he cone his head? He cones his head once and just falls. And bounce off a ramp. 105 Reet and Ritual. If he doesn't get that hard tag there, this fight could have went so differently. He could have just died. 110 on paper. Everyone's just messing up fighting him. This is actually just crazy. So right here, he's going to try to reposition. Height could have easily fried him again. Height must not have AR ammo or something. They're just not shooting back. Oh, well, there isn't even Height right now. Okay, yeah, and only one of them have an AR. Don. Gon is not pressuring players like that right there. He is fighting. Okay, so he tries spraying my floor down. I noticed it's a solo. I actually called to a V right here. I'm like, wait, can we just go? Can we go from our top? I wanted to go. What did I want to do? I actually was going to smack on his wall. It's such a terrible play though, in hindsight, but he's going to work his way over to dead side. He only has 11 builds left. I'm going to cone. Let's see. He doesn't edit anything yet. He sees a player on his wall. Box fights right here. I mean, wow. For box fights come into play, you know? All that fighting, grinding pays off. And here on height, Kwani and Gon still up there. Rapid. He's going to get all the loot off of this. He's going to get everything. I think he missed like, let's see if he missed anything. I think he might have missed a little bit of wood, but fine. Missed some wood. I mean, that could have been a lot of wood, but it doesn't matter anyways. He ends up winning. Just tarps front side. Just curious where his mindset is here. He's looking at me as a solo because he's understanding there's still duos alive. And he sees Thomas kills one, so a duo's wiped, and now he knows it's duo, solo, solo. So I just don't even understand this play though. I don't know where this drop down came from. I guess because we have one build. I guess that's fine. The timing was just so unlucky. I mean, the stars just aligned for Peter here. Oh, he sees him under him. Double it down, takes Thomas out. Gonna go in zone. It's all solos. We have Siphon. I'm gonna be griefing height. I fed Peterbot the win right here. Look at this. I mean, this is my ramp, but I didn't have any builds, so I don't even know what I do. I'm 1 HP to zone. I can't do anything. It's dudded. So Peter is in the 1v1. He's 1 HP. Queasy is healthy. He's gonna get a perfect timing edit on him. Hit him 100. Side jump. Pump. Dead. And that is one of the craziest Fortnite wins we have ever watched. I mean, this was the game Peterbot land right here. So this is just like the craziest part of the game. If they would have died back there on the edge of zone, Queasy Thomas would have won this game. I mean, they would have been in first going into this last game. But now going into this last game, there's a 40 to 50 point lead. Peter and Pollo are almost just like taking a victory lap here. Going into this final game, you're just gonna run up. He's gonna drop the coin, and this is what I'm saying. They're off momentum. Like they're doing things they're so confident about. They're not just sitting up on their hill spraying ARs. You know, they're fighting for surge when they need it. They're just gonna get so much loot off of Trashy there. Threat, sorry, and they're just spraying Trashy. He dies, and just like that, I mean, they're just getting some of the craziest loot back and some great early surge. What they needed in this situation. Yeah, nothing goes on for a little while. This is where Peter's just gonna sit on the hill. So they're probably just gonna pad around. They're gonna go for the bunker. They have good early surge. They have kills. I mean, they kind of have everything. They use their scan coin to make sure no one's camping, and they're gonna max their metal out. And this is where we need to go back and find some more surge though. Like, yeah, we have some decent surge, but I think we need to find. So they have zone reveal too. They know the next is going to pull somewhere on them. They're just going to box up in this river. Great island spawn though. Plays bottom left. Nobody goes on it. Now Peter Pollo just have the entire island to themselves. This is where Queasy and Thomas need to make a heroic play to get their surge. And not going to happen. This is the difficulty of having these one-shot guns. Because you just need to hit every single shot. Compared to like an AR where you can bleed bullets through walls and stuff like that. But Queasy's going to drop in, hit him 100. They're not going to block their angles here though. Like, I think this could have went maybe a little differently if they'd built a box previously right here. Because they almost died. They literally died a third party and to teams on their walls. But is what it is. Queasy Thomas fall over right there. And at this point in the tournament, Peter pretty much just won. They know Queasy dies. Yep. And yeah, this is just their victory lap. They're just sitting up here I mean, they're just playing mid ground, just shooting people. They're just dashing. I mean, they're playing it probably how they normally would have. They look for height right here. Fry height. Peter gets a nice shot. I think they're just going to tap Fizz. They don't have dashes though, but they're just going to build and fight up. They're just going to take some good angles. 5 white. Pop their splashes. Plus only 2 builds here. We're going to have to drop back down, it seems. That guy just did not want to give up height. And Peter's just going to fall into a duo's wall. He's going to get honored. Stay up on height. Fry, and I mean, yeah, man. This is just end of the game. They know they griefed height and the height guy had to drop, so now they know they have a free height. Yeah, that's about that. Peterbot Pollo won the 2024 NCS Global Championship, you know? See how they close it out. They take this 2v2, they full heal. Getting tagged by Batman, Booga. This team's weak already. They drop down. And boom. There it is, 12 kill win to top it off. That's the win. Pollo instantly leaves the game too. I think they just had a perfect early to mid game. And the games where it actually did go wrong is just when they weren't able to get enough surge, or the teams around them were fighting and hiding on like the back sides of the map, which is definitely an issue. Like I think I ran into that a little bit as well in my tournament. Yeah, I mean, they just had a perfect early game. They got zone reveal, I think 5 out of 6 games on their day 2 to pretty much close it out. They got bunkered quite a few times. But yeah, I mean, that game 11 was just a masterclass, honestly, from Peter. That solo clutch was everything. If they didn't get that right there, they wouldn't have been in first going into that last game. So that definitely could have shifted the momentum, you know, the way they played. But regardless, I still think they had a good last game, and that's that.